Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes, the suspense is killing us.
Welcome to our many mascots. Another to our Jam family. I'm getting a puppy. Can you guys see him? Am I sharing the screen right?
What a face. Monkey.
You are sharing.
Isn't he so cute?
Wait, is it the monkey or the dog?
It's this little guy right here.
That's adorable. Krista, I don't mean to.
You have a Shih Tzu.
What a cutie. I thought you were about to do an engagement announcement.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah,
the whole
right.
setup was very,
Why would I share a screen for an engagement announcement?
Some TikTok you guys did together or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, yeah. All a little underwhelmed here.
Let the record show John and Brandon anti-dog.
No,
I love
no.
puppies, but wow, we really just like teased this thing up to be like something. I was like, come on.
It's not
The
even
girl
coming
has
for
been wanting
5
a
or
dog.
6 weeks.
You don't even have the puppy yet.
Since 2018.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm happy for Krista, but I hope she gets a ring on it soon. Okay.
Do not put that kind of pressure on her. You guys, welcome to the Jam, where it's all fun and all judgment.
That's right.
Our new slogan.
We're here to talk about some good topics, some news of the day, everything you need to know. It's coming right up. So stay with us, because this next hour, we're going to knock your socks off. I can't promise
the Jam
that.
is actually an acronym for judgment and more.
Yeah, why did you need to explain our show to everyone, Felicia? They know what this is. Brandon's in for Amy. Why don't you get us started?
All right, guys, let's start with the latest on COVID-19. AstraZeneca, if I can actually talk, says its COVID-19 vaccine is 79% effective. The company is preparing to apply for emergency authorization from the Food and Drug Administration. It's also coming as more people are starting to get vaccinated, and eligibility is now opened up more here in the state of Illinois starting today. Pew Research shows COVID-19 testing has... Oh, go ahead, John.
I just want to add more vaccine sounds good to me. Yeah. Thank you. I sound like a man. Do I sound like a man?
I'm just going to leave it there.
All right. Pew Research actually showing that COVID-19 testing has dropped dramatically around the country, decreasing by a third in the past 2 months. The drop is due to the lowering number of COVID-19 caseloads and less people wanting to go get tests, since there's less people feeling like they've contracted it or been in contact with it. So
yeah, that's good news, but it is the case numbers are going up in certain states. It is worrisome. Michigan, not all that far away from us, of course, really seeing higher case numbers. So I know we're feeling good, but we ain't there quite yet.
Yeah. Also makes you nervous seeing people partying in Indianapolis and Miami and things like that. So yeah, you're right. We gotta keep the fight going. All right.
Mm-hmm.
DoorDash. This is actually pretty cool. DoorDash is soon going to deliver COVID testing kits through its app and website. The kits start at $109 with results in 24 to 48 hours. DoorDash making that announcement today. Pretty convenient to be able to just go on the app where you get your food and get a COVID test.
Yeah, I don't know. You want to be that delivery driver, though? I'd be like, I might leave this outside. You go ahead and a big long glove extending on out to you. There you go.
That's what they're encouraging people to do anyway. Like, leave it at the door, back away slowly. Back away.
Yes. That's cool. That's great.
Yeah, pretty awesome. And a 68-year-old Missouri man wants the state to reimburse him $120 after he traveled more than 280 miles for a vaccine shot. He sent a reimbursement form to the governor to try to get his money back. He said it was impossible to try to get an appointment, even though he's on the list of those who are able to get it.
He'll never see that.
You lived in Missouri, Felicia. You don't think those folks in Jefferson City are going to give him back his money?
No, I don't. I don't at all. It's just a tough time. It's hard. I'm sure they've done the best planning that they can do. It's just a tough time in general when you're rolling out this plan. This is something that we've never done before, just trying to get vaccines to people. So this is unfortunately what has happened to this man.
I feel like this is like what happens when you get a busted tire from a pothole. Technically, you can try and charge the city and the state for it.
Good
It
luck.
takes like 7 years, and you get about $40. Okay. The Loretto Hospital vaccine scandal has more drama in it than the soap opera General Hospital. The latest here, Block Club Chicago reporting that in addition to the Trump Tower vaccinations and the suburban church vaccinations, the Westside Hospital also vaccinated ineligible residents of a luxury jewel shop in the Gold Coast neighborhood. The chief executive of Loretto is one of the store's top customers. Chicago Public Health Commissioner Dr. Allison Arwady explained why this is an issue.
It's been unfortunate to see. Obviously, we started our campaign at the Loretto Hospital. We're so committed to making sure that people in Austin and in that area get vaccine. We're going to keep going with that. And I expect Loretto to be able to become a vaccinating partner again. But it's just incumbent. We've got to make sure that vaccine, it's such a precious resource, is being used appropriately.
Dr. Arwady later on this week. I should mention that they had an emergency meeting on their board today, and they decided that the top execs will be keeping their jobs, which honestly surprised me, especially after the jewelry store news this morning.
I don't think they should lose their jobs, especially at a time like this. I do think, well, it does seem like there should be some kind of penalty, though. But
That's your opinion. Come on, though.
Yeah, well, I guess I feel like, obviously they didn't do anything that was criminal. They did something that was frowned upon. And we were all just saying last week how getting the vaccines into an arm is certainly the most important thing. So I guess, see, now I have mixed feelings about this, John. I don't know.
Well, I would take it a step further than corrupt, than just frowned upon. This is corrupt and it's immoral. If what we're seeing here reported by Kelly, who's done an excellent job. Congratulations to her on this great work she's doing. But all the way in Gold Coast, or where I'm at, a top jeweler that sells these watches for thousands and thousands of dollars, the people there getting front of the line to get a vaccine when people in need of Loretto really need it, it's just not right. So for there to be no repercussions at all, whether it's someone losing their job or suspension or whatever, doesn't seem right.
I will say what to me is a complete no. I'm sorry to cut you off, John. What is a complete no is them saying that they're going to temporarily remove the vaccines from Loretto Hospital so they won't be distributing them to anyone, which includes the people in that community. I don't know if that's the best way to do things either. Like, how long is this temporary suspension of getting the vaccines there?
I was with you, Felicia, last week when we talked about that. But then when you're talking about a jewelry store where you're a customer, and I'm not saying this is what happened. Maybe it's just a friend who runs the shop. But is there a deal going on? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no evidence to that. And then if this is just the tip of the iceberg, maybe there's more. Maybe there's more stories that are going to come out about this. I don't know. But then maybe it does need a whole re-examination, of what they're doing. Because I don't care how many arms you put in that you're supposed to. You start putting in jewelry store owners' arms, that makes no sense.
And once that jewelry store owner starts inviting friends and having events where his friends that live in the area get it, like that's ridiculous to me. So there needs to. I'm looking forward to seeing what more comes out.
Yeah. How far has this gone? Hey, you guys changed my mind. I'm human. I have a right to change.
There you go.
Okay. Well, if you get a vaccine, you can get a donut. Okay, a free donut. Today at Krispy Kreme, they announced that you just have to show your COVID vaccination card and you can get that donut anytime throughout the year. Some good news here.
Yeah, they're speaking right to my high school years when we had a Krispy Kreme open near us, and I would just sit there even before it opened up, and you see how they make it. They have the windows where they go by. I'll tell you what,
it was beautiful.
If I were ever on the fence about a vaccine, this might have been the one that threw me over it. Not that I'd be able to jump over it after a year of Krispy Kremes, but I'd certainly be able to look.
Yeah, I salute the move by Krispy Kreme. Good for them. If they're willing to do that, anything that's going to promote the vaccine, I'm all for. Me personally, donuts wouldn't sway me because I really don't like donuts. I'm not big into sweets. But somebody else out there might see this and be like, yo, I love Krispy Kreme donuts. I guess I better go get my shot. Maybe that's
I'm kind of surprised too. Like every single day, like I've seen some where it's like you're going to get 10% off this one thing. Krispy Kreme went all in. I think what they're banking on are the people that get vaccinated for the love of their Krispy Kreme, ain't going to stop at just one. See, this is the problem. This is where they get you. You're going to go on in there and you'll be like, you know what? I do get this one for free, but these other 7 might look real good a little later on.
Well, you need more donuts because one just doesn't do it, but you also got to get the coffee that goes with it because they're making money off of that. So the goal is to get people through your doors. Once you get them through the door, you can sell them on anything, honey.
This is capitalism at its finest, right? This is public health meets capitalism, okay? Reward people with sweets. Yeah, exactly. You are free to do whatever you want to make this work on out.
Gordon Gekko said greed is good. So, hey, I think this is an example of that. This is capitalism working to save humanity, in a sense, right?
Yes.
Maybe?
Sure.
Who would have thought I would say that?
We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. All right, guys. Well, coming up, Money Manager to the Stars, Kristen Lee shares how to save like a celebrity. And later, pastors are taking Sunday best to a pricey new level. We're breaking down the hype beast hypocrisy and the news you need to know. See you in a bit.
Kristen Lee is an international business manager to the stars. Her work focuses on keeping her celebrity clientele working and thriving during these uncertain times. Kristen, thank you so much for being here. I'm sure you work with the celebrities. I'm sure you got some good tips for us regular folk as well, because we need some help. So when you manage these accounts for high profile stars who are used to sold out arenas and events, what is that like?
Well, right now it's been really interesting because that's all been taken away. So there's been a reshuffling of how artists are making money and the way that we manage money. Obviously, cash flow took a major hit for everybody because all of the tours got canceled, film shoots got canceled, everything went kind of awry. So had to get really creative in the last year to make sure things stay afloat.
So what is something that the everyday person should know that these high profile celebrity clientele are doing with their money that we should be doing as well?
saving, investing, reinvesting in yourself. It doesn't matter if you are saving $5 or $500 or $5,000 a month. Everything builds up over time, and those things can compound. So, I just highly recommend, kind of setting and forgetting it. You can just sock away $5 from every paycheck into another account that you just let sit there, and you'd be surprised what that does over time, and be really proud of yourself. So.
Now, Kristen, I know you're talking about saving, you're talking about investing, but we got to keep it real. This was a tough year for a lot of people with the pandemic and everything that's been going on. It might be hard for them to even see the possibility of saving and investing. What would you tell that person?
Every little bit counts. I know it's been a struggle for a lot of people. We've dug really deep into a lot of the government assistance programs. There are grants depending on different industries that you're in. There are, loans and different things that SBA did if you're in business. I always say, plan for the worst and hope for the best. And this was absolutely the worst thing that could have happened to anyone and all of us. So, I would hope that this doesn't happen again in our lifetime. But I think one thing that everybody's learned is that if you have that cushion behind you, this was a little bit easier to get through. So I would highly encourage everybody to just have that in mind all the time.
This is a part of our Strong Women series for the month of March. Can you tell me just who inspires you? How did you get to where you are today?
I was really fortunate to be raised by strong women. My mom and my grandmother were single parents, and my mom taught me to do a tax return by hand when I was a teenager, and taught me good money habits, helped me get a secured credit card when I was young, helped me to get my first car, and then made me pay her every month for it. So I had that stuff instilled in me, from a very young age, and I'm super, super grateful for that education. Not everybody gets that.
Kristen Lee, advocating for women, advocating for people in their finances. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Hey, you guys, she has a lot of good tips, a lot of good info, and we as women, as a community, we need to be talking about this. So make sure you follow her at KLBM LLC on Instagram. Well, this is something else you should know. If you have plans to clean out your closet, take your new or gently worn business attire to an area CD1 Price for a donation. We are partnering with Kara and CD1 Price to help Chicagoans get back on their feet. So just head to cw26chicago.com. We've got all the details up there and details on how you can donate. B?
All right, some news you need to know here. So if you were to browse through Instagram, you're going to notice a lot of social media's most powerful religious leaders aren't saving their best just for Easter Sunday. They're often spotted rocking Prada, Gucci, and $5,000 sneakers. And there's a new IG account out there called Preachers and Sneakers that is calling out this display of wealth. Well, take a look at some of the posts they have here. Pastor David Crank here sporting $770 Yeezy sneakers right there. That's a lot of drip. Jamal Bryant, he's known to kick it with Hollywood royalty, engage in a few entanglements here or there. $1,200 Alexander McQueen kicks. You feel me, Felicia. Dr. Mike Freeman with the Burberry jacket here. Does he really need that? $1,250 for that. Sanctified indeed. And of course, you got John Gray. He does the Oprah interview, serial cheater, with a sweatshirt from Givenchy. Am I saying that right? Givenchy? For more than
Givenchy.
Givenchy. $1,000 is the price tag on that one. It's no secret. There's a lot of pastors out there that make a lot of money, Creflo Dollar, things like that.
Yeah. You're talking about gym shoes. You didn't even get started on the private jets. You're just talking about gym shoes. The church has received a lot of criticism for this. And on one hand, I can see it just because a lot of people do have books. A lot of pastors and reverends end up having books. So they have their book sales, or they have some other entrepreneurial efforts as well that could lend themselves to them having this kind of cash on hand. But then the whole idea is also for you to each one, teach one, reach one, help one, whatever how the phrase goes. You're supposed to be helping the community, and and that should be your focus. And so if you're getting distracted by all these other little things out there, then are
Yeah.
you 100% fulfilling your purpose like you should be? There's
Yeah.
some gray area here for sure.
Look, I'm never against someone making a dollar where they want to make it. That's totally fine. And flaunting gym shoes isn't a big deal. But yeah, some of the other things just strike me as so against the message of what they're preaching. And I just worry sometimes that people who lead other people, is their heart really in the right place? I mean, I'm not trying to accuse any of these people of not being there, but I think there's a disconnect when you start to get to a certain dollar amount. I think it's inevitable, even if you came from humble beginnings, that you maybe still have to at least work harder to get. But when I was lucky enough to go to Europe and visit like old Catholic churches, I was always blown away by the fine finishings and the gold ceilings and all this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, if they just spend a couple of these dollars on some of the people that they're trying to help out, I'd go a lot further.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what the message is, because there is prosperity gospel, Joel Osteen style, and stuff like that. I wonder what exactly they're preaching, but hopefully they're practicing what they're preaching. Hopefully.
For sure. Hey, coming up on the Jam, one apartment complex is towing cars off its lot, and the reason will make you say, "Child, please." We're back in 90.
Okay.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Right.
Here we go.
Felicia first. Change your identity and start all over. What city are you moving to, Felicia? Where are you going?
Oh, wow.
Well, I might be there anyway. I'm going to be in Miami, and my new name is going to be Ava. That's my alias
whole new
when
name.
people come
There
and
you
ask
go.
me.
USA,
my
Brandon,
alias.
what about you?
I will move to Worcester, England, in a nice little cottage and seclude myself from the world there.
That's nice.
Great place.
That's nice.
Great
Brandon?
cottages in Worcester.
You'll still tweet, though. You'll still tweet about it.
Oh,
Yeah, I just go to like Wisconsin. I don't know. I know they said country. All three of our answers are, well, Brandon at least went overseas. Yeah, I'm just
gotta
going to
get
Wisconsin.
away.
Wait, Wisconsin. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to the second.
Beer
Yeah,
Lake.
let's go think a bit bigger. Okay, I will be in, no, south of France. Okay, south of France, the Amalfi Coast or something like that. Okay, go to the second. What's your second choice, John?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. It needs to be like a small
Okay.
Midwest town, right?
We'll
Just you
work
can
on those
disappear
big
in those
dreams.
places.
We'll work
disappear
on the
there.
big dreams.
Kentucky's nice.
Oh, not
Minnesota.
Kentucky. Oh, no.
Certain parts. All right, time for Child Please. Headlines that make us say Child Please. An Ohio apartment complex is towing away cars they don't think look nice enough. According to their policy, cars on the property that have rust, that have dents, that have flat tires or bad paint, they put a sticker on there and they give you 24 hours to fix all that. Child Please. Towing those cars? Come on, give me a break.
Wait. Yeah, and then it's all subjective too, because there's levels of a rundown car.
Yeah. Basically, Felicia's cars get to stay, mine gets towed, and Brandon doesn't know about it. All right.
I don't have one. I don't got to worry about it.
Still on that Uber. Still on the Uber. Okay.
Yeah.
Donald Trump says he might start his own social media network. Now, one of his aides says that the platform should be up in the next 2 to 3 months. We'll see. This all after Twitter and Facebook banned the former president. So, of course, he needs a way to connect with his people. But, child, please. No. Although he does have a following, I think some people are going to be on there. It just won't be any of us.
I'm sure somebody will follow. Okay, how about this one? Twitter is reportedly working on an undo button for tweets, kind of like that edit button everyone's been calling for. It would let you modify your post after sending it, but there is a catch, okay? They want you to pay to do this, okay? With a subscription service for premium features. Child, please. Child, please to that.
No,
I would have paid for
Not
this
paying
to
for
get rid
social.
of all my Illinois is better than Ohio State tweets. I'd pay a little bit to get rid of those after the weekend.
Would you?
Trust me.
Would you?
Yes.
Oh, man.
For sure.
They're not worth much.
We'll be back. Nothing like watching a show with long clips on YouTube. Really engrossing yourself in the content.
Okay, I didn't tell you guys. I bought a lottery ticket last week. I didn't win, so that's the end of the story. But the prayer was, the prayer was, Lord, if you could just, maybe I don't get the whole 92 million, but maybe you could just give me like the 1 million or 500K or I was just trying to get 2 or 3 of the numbers right.
And how many did you get right?
None, absolutely
Yeah.
none. So that's why I'm still here on a Monday. That's why I'm here on a Monday, hanging out with
We were
you
wondering
guys.
why you showed up. We were wondering why you showed up. Thanks. I see Brandon's in for Amy, who is messaging us from her vacation spot on the group chat.
Who
I'm like,
does
girl,
that?
I don't care. I get away. She does. She's a
I would
hard
never.
worker, even when she's no. you'll
Yeah.
never see it.
On behalf of all of us that cannot vacation right now, you have to do it for us.
Yeah.
Get with it.
Let's get
Amy.
it started.
Okay, a new referendum on the ballot could let Chicago voters decide the next police superintendent, negotiate CPD contracts, and decide on the department's budget. Critics of this proposal are already calling it an overreach of the community. And just so you know, it could happen as soon as next year's election. Okay, so keep an eye out for that on the ballot. But do you think that this could be a good thing? Because I'm all for putting power with the people. Although, does that mean that progress is not going to get made? Like, who is responsible? Someone has to be accountable.
Yeah, and that is way too, I don't want to say too much power to the people, right? We live in a republic or democracy, whatever you want to call it. That's a good thing in general. But like specific decisions, like about that sort of stuff, there's reasons why we have government elected officials to make these decisions for us. I always worry about these sorts of things when you start having, because look, if this is going to be, if all these issues become political issues, I think there's a lot of unforeseen consequences to that then are, that really will muck this process up, is the best way I can say that.
Yeah, I'm going to take the side of the community here because I feel like, yes, elected officials probably should be doing this, but they've had the opportunity so many times and they've messed it up so many times. So I say, why not try it and see what the results would yield if you give the people the power to decide and put in power this top person of power when it comes to Chicago policing. Chicago policing affects the livelihoods of people on the South and West Side who live in fear every day, honestly, of the police. So if you give them the power to entrust who they're going to put in place, I think that helps the entire, whole situation with community and police relations overall. Maybe this is too far compromised, but the people should have a say in who their superintendent's going to be.
Okay, I really like the concept of where you're going, but the actuality of making this happen, I just can't see it. Who's accountable for, okay, it's also negotiating CPD's contracts and then deciding on the department's budget. We're just trying to get people to get to the polls. We're just trying to get people to show up at the voting polls. And sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, and also, look.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think people think that they're going to get some great actions out of this, right? Like they're going to get some really progressive policies. They may be shocked to find out there's a large swath of the city that does not feel that way, and then they're going to get nothing, right? Like this is why you leverage and you negotiate with the superintendent to try and reach these compromises. Elections don't have compromises. Elections have one way or the highway.
So I'm
intrigued by the possibility.
Yeah, and maybe it's worth exploring, Brandon, but I'm all for change. I don't know if this is the change that we need. My dog doesn't even like it.
This is something that smaller towns and communities do all the time. They elect their sheriff. Sheriffs run for re-election. So I say, why not do that in a bigger city like Chicago with all the issues it has with policing, with all the federal, people that have come in to try to clean it up and the lack of reform happening. Maybe it's time that the people pick who is leading this, because right now the results aren't yielding.
Yes, but it's not just that. They want the other things too. I think I would be okay for electing the superintendent, but then negotiating the contracts, deciding on the budget. I think there were a couple other details that they would decide too. It just seems like maybe the balance, maybe the answer is somewhere in the middle,
Probably is. Kumbaya, everybody. Time for Chicago in 60. High education, government, and media employees are now eligible for the vaccine in Illinois. Yay. Not if you live in Cook County, though. Yeah. Nope. Sorry, Brandon. You're in Gold Coast. You remind us every 4 or 5 stories that's where you live. Chicago and the Cook County suburbs, they have tighter restrictions on those vaccines. CPS is investing $24 million in student trauma and mental health programs. The money is coming from the federal stimulus bill and will be spent over the next 3 years at 500 schools. And this is why I think it's so good to get all this information out there where this federal stimulus money goes. People think it only goes into your pocket or it goes into these big blue states. No, this is a great program, and they're using stimulus federal money to shepherd this, and it makes total sense.
But they're not just saying to get the kids back there or to clean the schools or hire more teachers or support staff or whatever. They're focusing on something that doesn't always get the attention that I think it deserves personally. When we're talking about trauma and mental health, this is for sure going to be needed. It was needed before the pandemic, so this would be great.
Yeah, probably more crucial than ever when you think about the lives these kids have had to kind of adapt into. Kids are supposed to be out, be with friends, socialize, and they haven't been able to have that. So this is huge, and I can't wait to see what it does.
For sure. All right, if you're missing a package, you happen to live in Avondale, it might be because of this little squirrel, Block Club Chicago, getting this footage from a neighbor. Now watch this thing. Watch this, up the pole. Look at this. He's taking a little package. This was on Saturday.
What?
Where does he go with this thing? He goes between the buildings eventually and just goes home or wherever he's going. So slide it on in there with the package. I'm trying to come up with a good name for it. I feel like there's a play because this is in the Avondale neighborhood, like a Chip and Avondale or something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, I know you like alliteration and rhymes. I was just gonna call it like a squirrel gate. It's like a squirrel theft gate. Squirrel thievery.
It's the new pizza rat from New York. That's insane.
It's It's a new type of porch pirate for sure. I didn't expect to see a squirrel.
I wonder what was in the package. It would have to be food or something, right?
Nuts, I would assume so, but you never know. It could have been like a USB to lightning converter. I don't know what a squirrel's going to do with that, but we'll figure it out, certainly. These squirrels are just getting very bold. They're right? All the little hands with their little thing, they're gonna keep safe in their little alley. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I had a joke there, not gonna use it.
These big city marsupials and mammals have too much power, honestly. They get in your face, they get comfortable. Yeah. Time to teach them a lesson.
What's that lesson? Let's get them out of town. Gather them all up. More traps.
That's illegal. Yeah. That's illegal.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying you tell anybody about it. Don't put it on social media.
Right. Mm-hmm. I would trade the squirrels for the pigeons, though. The pigeons are the ones I get more annoyed with than the squirrels.
They all
depends on which one you find in your attic. That's the question.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, guys, you ready for a little update?
Not a lot, baby girl, just a little bit.
Love when that music plays. You know what this is. It's the little update, and this little update has some layers to it, okay? So follow me. It started when rapper Lil Mama from, the song My Lip Gloss is Poppin', My Lip Gloss is Cool. She pledged to start a heterosexual rights movement over the weekend. Heterosexual rights. Exactly. Yeah, John. Yeah, it's very laughable. Jackie Harry, the mom from Sister Sister, she subtweeted about Lil Mama. She said the lip gloss was never really that poppin', referencing Lil Mama's 2008 hit song, Lip Gloss. Well, Lil Mama was big mad about this. She posted an IG story saying, thought you was a sister, more like sister act. That's the problem now. These new young girls don't respect y'all old B words. Woo! Lil Mama with some heat. Coming to Jackie Harry kind of disrespectfully there. But yeah. Obviously, the laughable part, heterosexual rights? Girl.
Well, laughable and offensive, but also, what was the last movement she started was the lip gloss movement. Like, what else has happened since?
Was that a movement?
It was a cute song now. It was a cute song. Don't take away her song. But, I mean, Jackie came with the shade. That's what she does. She's funny. She makes jokes and everything. Lil Mama didn't have to come back and go for the jugular.
It's like when people are like, we want a straight pride parade. And I'm like, there aren't enough cargo shorts and socks and sandals for that parade to make anyone give any attention. Heterosexual rights. They're just called rights, as it turns out. Right. They've always been granted to heterosexuals.
That parade sounds boring, I'm just gonna say.
Oh, the straight person parade? Come on.
Who wouldn't want to go to that? I wouldn't want to go to that.
Oh, exactly.
I would decline.
No one's going.
You're a noted
Yeah,
straight
Lil
person,
Mama-
Brandon, and you wouldn't want to do that. No.
Exactly. Even me wouldn't want to do that. Lil Mama, she is not relevant. But she does something, says something stupid every 6 months to a year to get herself back in the headlines, and all of a sudden we're talking about her. Literally, all she's got is this lip gloss song and a catchy song with Chris Brown and T-Pain from the past. No one's talking about Lil Mama, and now she's just trying to be shocking and scandalous.
She's
So she
trying
can
to
just
get
go on
canceled
somewhere.
just so she can complain about cancel culture. Like she's trying to get canceled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is what's happening now. There's the anti-cancel culture people now that are just trying to make it, and then they can be like, I got canceled, and then a bunch of idiots buy their album from the past because they're like,
Right.
we got to support Goya Beans, and because they're getting canceled. Like, what?
This is almost as bad as that time. Remember that time she jumped on stage, you guys, during Jay-Z's performance in New York?
Oh,
I didn't know who she was till 10
Bar.
minutes ago.
Remember, so she has a history of doing
Mm.
not so cool things
Lil Mama,
and getting
come
called
on,
out
bro.
for it, getting dragged by social.
All righty. What's coming up,
Hope
Hope?
it helps. All right, guys. Well, she's already got John Legend's stamp of approval. We're talking with the voice contestant from Chicago, Pia Renee, after the break.
Woo!
That right there is Chicagoan Pia Renee competing on this season of The Voice, and that was epic.
Yeah, that was. And she is officially a team member of Team John Legend. She joins us now. Now, Blake Shelton turned around first. So did you know going in you wanted to work with John Legend no matter what? Because he came a little late to that turnaround. That's all I'm saying.
I actually wanted Blake going in, and I wanted whoever turned around first, but my strategy was to go with Blake, but he actually talked himself out of it. So, yeah.
There you go.
Well, now you're with John Legend. Tell me, Pia, what's it been like having him in your corner?
It's been great. John is amazing to watch and to learn from. He's always very authentic, always very graceful. And I watch everything he does, even on down to how he smiles for pictures. I watch what he does, and I'm always learning from him. He's amazing.
Pia, I got to say, we're the exact same age, so I can say this, that, you're a young woman. I'm a young man, of course. But what I got to say is, when you
are still young.
Yeah, you better believe it. But you sing with the voice of someone, and like you had a child at the age of 15, another one at the 18. You have lived through life. And do you think that translates a little bit into how you sing and what you like to sing about?
Absolutely. I grew up with a grandmother who loved the blues, and she smoked cigarettes. So one of the first things I noticed and loved about my grandmother was her voice. And it was always really deep. And from a little girl, I wanted to sound like my grandmother. So I guess that's why I sound like a grandma now.
You definitely have a very mature, wise, sage voice going for you. And I think that's what people are really connecting with here. What's this journey been like for you? Because I just see this whole thing where you're on stage and you own it. You're electric. What's that like for you? What's that moment like?
Oh, man. So that moment is like, I will say one thing for sure. The power of not wanting to be embarrassed is real and it's very strong. And I would actually say I'm seasoned at this too. I've been singing for a long time, and there was a time in my life where I dealt with crippling insecurity. Like, I used to sing in church as a little girl, and there would be times that I would be afraid that people would make fun of me, and I would intentionally mess the song up, or I would forget the words. And I just got to a point where I just got tired of losing, per se, and I got tired of just not representing myself well. And so now it's being on stages that are nationally and if it goes online, globally watched. I don't want to look bad. I don't want to misrepresent myself or my city. So it's very important that I perform really, really well.
Yeah, we're running out of time, but I feel like you just give off this vibe that you are ready for the spotlight.
Mm-hmm. You're right. That's the correct
That was
vibe.
a statement. Okay. Sorry. I was just saying my piece, and there you go.
Absolutely. Pia, really quick, you got anything coming up?
Yeah, more of The Voice.
Yeah,
that's right.
There you go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Pia, thank you so much for joining us. You can follow Pia on Instagram and continue watching her journey play out this season on The Voice with Team John Legend. Thanks a lot, Pia. Alicia.
Yeah, we got a quick check of the headlines. The Supreme Court says it will consider reinstating the death penalty for Boston Marathon bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. The justices will now hear an appeal filed by the Trump administration that's scheduled for the fall. And if you don't get your stimmy by Wednesday, the IRS says it'll be in the mail. Last week, $242 billion went out by direct deposits. Those waiting on the mail now just have to wait on the Postal Service. And Juneteenth could become a national holiday. June 19th is the day that many use to commemorate the freeing of slaves in America. However, there is some debate about choosing a new date that better aligns with history. Right now, though, this is just a proposal in Congress. And 1,000 people were arrested in Miami Beach this weekend as the city struggles to deal with large crowds and partiers. More than half of those arrested have been from out of state, many older than college age. They're adults just tired of being cooped up. One can understand that. But on Sunday, Miami Beach police instated an 8 p.m. curfew to try to fight the crowds. The emergency order will continue through next Sunday. I mean, just incredible images that we're seeing from Miami Beach. And you could see it's out of control. You guys know I love Miami. And originally I was like, oh, come on, 8 p.m. curfew. But when you see those crowds, it's too far.
Yeah, you're saying that now. That's after I bailed you out of jail on Sunday after you were one of those 1,000 arrested police in them streets, as you've been saying.
Yeah, don't be putting my business out there like that, John. Just that's between us.
Don't let me find out. Actually, I know a few people that were out in Miami. This looked like everybody this weekend that I know was in Miami, or they were in Houston, Texas, or they were in Atlanta. I don't know why this weekend of all weekends was the choice to go out and wild out, But yeah, this is concerning because yeah, we're seeing things get a little better. There's light at the end of the tunnel, but we're not done yet. You can still get
Yeah.
COVID-19. It's still out here, guys. And seeing those images of those crowds packed, if you've been on that South Beach strip there, you know that is an area. If it's packed like that, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. So I don't like seeing that at all.
I have a real hard time even reacting to stories like this because I cannot put myself in the mental space to ever do something like that right now. And I don't get how someone could. I guess it just helps being, if I were 10 years younger, maybe I would feel differently, but I just, I can't get there.
Yeah. And maybe 10 years younger and maybe slightly less informed.
I can get it.
Clearly still in
I
the
can see
pandemic,
what
but
someone
a
would
lot
think
of
that
people,
way.
a lot of people want to get out. They want to be out and about. And, also you have to keep in mind, a lot of people already have had COVID already.
True.
So, they're not seeing it like we're seeing it, I think. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, an actress in her, Alicia, I will bail you out another time. Don't worry. You get one more.
Okay.
An actress in her
money in the reserves.
Yeah, for sure. An actress in her golden years opening up about her thriving sex life. And the internet is going wild, of course. We're going to weigh in. And our deep dish coming up.
I have really big news too. What? Here's a random picture of a dog.
If you're just joining us, I was making fun of Krista, who screen shared her new puppy that's going to be coming in like 9 months or something.
You're hating on her dog. Let the woman have her moment. This puppy is a big moment for Krista.
This was 5 minutes later. The moment was there. I gave it to her. And then it was time to make fun of it. Like, that's the natural progression of things.
Okay.
It was set up really big. Y'all made this seem like it was an engagement or something. So I appreciate the joke, John. I do.
Never bringing any good news to you guys again.
Good.
You learned two non-dog.
stealing that and giving you no credit. All right, time now for Deep Dish. Hey, come and knock on our door. And you probably should, because 74-year-old Suzanne Summers says that she has sex 3 times before noon. 3 times before noon every day. She says now that the kids are away, her and her husband are really enjoying all the time of their lives. Now, I know we're supposed to talk about how things that we should do when we're older to feel young. But Felicia, the main question I have for you is, I mean, sex 3 times in any day. That's just too much sex.
That's someone with a lot of time on their hands. But that's what she said. She said the kids are older. They're out of the house. They're fine. So she's trying to move on. I hope I'm doing exactly that at 74 years old.
3 times a day before noon?
3 times. It sounds a little tiring, but can I just note that she is redefining, and so many other women are too, redefining what it means to be an older woman in this country. Gone are the days of this, little granny. No, people are out here dipping it and doing it at 60, 70, 80 years old. I hope to be just like them. I sure do.
Dipping it and doing it at 74.
Dipping it and doing it.
If there's any single 74-year-olds out there who have a lot of money, who knows? Maybe I would dip it into it as well.
Go for it. Somebody might be looking for you, Brandon. Somebody might be looking for you.
That's as good a time as ever to call it a day on the jam, everybody. Brandon's looking for a 74-year-old. If we don't see Brandon tomorrow, we know where he is.
A little younger. You could be 64.
Nope. Bye.